So a friend of mine has tickets to the Super Bowl, box seats, including flight and hotel accommodations. And he didn't know when he bought the tickets that it would be the same day as his wedding. So he can't go. So if any of you want to take his place, it's at St. Paul's Church. Her name is Donna, and she'll be wearing white. You can only tell that joke once a year, right? I love it. So anyway, Season for Nonviolence. Last week I mentioned that every day the agnt.org has a word of the day. And today's word was contemplation, which is perfect for us doing two services and having the first service be more contemplative. Like, whoa, synchronicity in that. But what they say in this word of the day is it invites us to look at our lives and see, where are we living our lives automatically? Where are we on autopilot? Where are we just going through the motions instead of creating a life that we would love, instead of living a life that we want to design, having a blueprint or a form for our lives that how we want to move forward, instead of just by default. And so we get to decide if we want to do that or not. Do we want to live a life that we create? Our whole lives are in front of us. We talk about this in Prosperity Plus. It's a blank page. We get to decide how we want to live that life, how we want to live the rest of our days. And so we contemplate on that. Spend time in the silence. Spend time listening for your guidance. February is Black History Month, and every year since 1976, the President of the United States has endorsed Black History Month every year, this year too. And it's incredible because it's important for us to learn the stories of our Black brothers and sisters. It's kind of hard to talk to, we're mostly white community here. But it's important for us to learn about the accomplishments and the success of our Black brothers and sisters. It helps unite us. It helps us see how we are similar. It helps us look at diversity, not because of our differences, but because of our uniqueness. And it helps us go deeper. It helps us to see how we're all the same on the inside, instead of looking at the outside and looking for how we're different. And so one of the most famous Black Americans, of course, is Martin Luther King Jr. And I found this short little video of him giving a speech 6 months before he was assassinated. He was in Philadelphia, and he was speaking to a group of junior high school students. And as he's talking to them, and we'll play it in just a moment, but as he's talking to them, he's saying, you've got your whole life in front of you. We have our whole lives in front of us. No matter what age you are, you have the rest of your life in front of you. So take his words as he's talking to you too. He's not just talking to junior high school students. So let's play the video.
This is the most important and crucial period of your lives, for what you do now and what you decide now at this age may well determine which way your life shall go. And the question is whether you have a proper, a solid, and a sound blueprint. And I want to suggest some of the things that should be in your life's blueprint. Number one in your life's blueprint should be a deep belief in your own dignity, your own worth, and your own somebodyness. Don't allow anybody to make you feel that you are nobody. Always feel that you count. Always feel that you have worth. And always feel that your life has ultimate significance. Secondly, in your life's blueprint, you must have, as a basic principle, the determination to achieve excellence in your various fields of endeavor. You're going to be deciding as the days and the years unfold what you will do in life, what your life's work will be. Once you discover what it will be, set out to do it, and to do it well. Be a bush if you can't be a tree. If you can't be a highway, just be a trail. If you can't be the sun, be a star. For it isn't by size that you win or you fail. Be the best of whatever you are. Finally, in your life's blueprint must be a commitment to the eternal principles of beauty, love, and justice. Well, life for none of us has been a crystal staff, but we must keep moving. We must keep going. If you can't fly, run. If you can't run, walk. If you can't walk, crawl, but by all means, keep moving.
Yeah, it's really good. I hadn't seen that or heard that before. And how does that relate to "we shall not be moved"? I'm not quite sure. I make the kind of just spend that in contemplation. Anyway, I love that life's blueprint because we can take these words in too. You know, the first one: believe in your own worth. Believe in your own value. Believe that you are inherently good, that your life has significance. It doesn't matter who you are, what you've done, what your past is. Your life matters. It can be really hard if you grew up like I did, Catholic, and you said every week, "I am not worthy to receive you." That got stuck in my head for a lot of years. I am not worthy, but I am worthy. You are worthy. We all are worthy to live a life that we love. We have a place here. Just because we're breathing, we are worthwhile. Just because we're breathing, we have worth and dignity and value. So don't let anybody tell you different. And that's what Martin Luther King is telling these young people. But know it now. I mean, if you don't know that yet, know it now. It's important. And the second one, always aim for excellence. And whatever, it doesn't matter what you do, whatever is yours to do, and everybody is different. Everybody's going to have their own different, unique spin on what they want to do and how they want to express. But strive for excellence. For me, growing up, going to school, I don't know where I got this because it wasn't from my parents, but I always wanted A's. Probably from being the firstborn of 6. I had this drive in me to get A's. And when I was going for my master's, my MBA in business, I only had 1 B and the rest were A's. And so I was elected to be part of an honorary society called Beta Gamma Sigma, which is for top business students, like the top 5% in the country. And I got to go to a little ceremony, and they gave me a certificate and a little pin, and I was, very proud of that. I didn't even go to my commencement for the MBA, but I went to that. And I remember telling my mom that I got this award, and she said, "Do you know your sister can fold a fitted sheet and it doesn't look like a fitted sheet?" I mean, there wasn't maybe even a breath between me telling her about what I did. See, it's different for everyone. I don't even know which sister it is of my 4 sisters, but one of them can fold a fitted sheet, and I cannot fold a fitted sheet, so not to have it look like a flat sheet. Anyway, it doesn't, whatever it is for you, if it's folding a fitted sheet, if it's getting A's, if it's, taking out the trash, whatever, do it with excellence. And then the third one is always look for the beauty and the love and the justice in the world. Just keep moving towards that sense of a beautiful, loving, just world. And if you're not seeing it, expand, keep moving, look bigger, have a wider lens because it's there. And so these are great principles for all of us to live our lives by. all of us to know. And so for Black History Month, I want to share with you some people who did this, who had a vision for their life, who achieved excellence, who knew their worth and their value, and who sought beauty and love and justice. The first one is Alice Coachman. In 1948, she became the first Black woman of any country to win an Olympic gold medal, and she got it in the high jump. She broke all the world records. When she was growing up, her dad, she's one of 10 kids, her dad didn't think girls should be in sports. Like the only sports girls could do were tennis and swimming. But she wanted to run. You know, she had that in her, that urge to run and jump. And she was encouraged in school to do that. And so she was beating all the boys and beating everyone and winning all these awards. And someone encouraged her to go to the Olympics, and she won a gold medal. First Black woman. The next one is Gwendolyn Brooks. In 1950, she won the Pulitzer Prize, the first Black person to win a Pulitzer Prize, and she won it for her book of poetry called Annie Allen. And Annie Allen was a book about her life, about her growing up as a Black girl. It's incredible. And she became a consultant to the Library of Congress for poetry. She also was the poet laureate for the state of Illinois. And she was a housewife and did lots of things around the house, chores, like scrubbing floors and doing dishes and cleaning the kitchen and making beds. And she said none of that work meant anything to her but writing. Writing was what she was passionate about. And it showed. She achieved excellence in writing. The next is Howard Thurman. Howard Thurman, incredible. He was the grandson of slaves. He grew up to become a minister, a mystic, a teacher, an author. He believed that God was always guiding him. He would spend time in the silence. He wrote a book called Jesus and the Disinherited. I just started reading it, and it's about how he compares Jesus's life as a poor Jewish boy growing up, the same as a poor Black child growing up in this country, and how their backs are against the wall, and how so many times there's another group of people controlling what they can do and what they can't do, where they have to go. Segregation, as Howard Thurman grew up in. He went to India and he met Gandhi, and he came back and he knew he was the one to start talking about the principles of nonviolence. When Martin Luther King was stabbed with a letter opener during the civil rights movement, he was in the hospital recovering, and Howard Thurman went and visited him. And he gave Martin Luther King Jr. some advice, and he said, while you're recuperating, this is a perfect time for you to go within, to spend some time in the silence, to listen to God, listen to Spirit, and find out what is yours to do going forward. What is yours to do? He had this quote that I just love. It's one of his well-known quotes. Don't ask yourself what the world needs. Ask yourself what makes you come alive, and do that. Because the world needs people who have come alive. He came alive with his teachings and his writing and his preaching, and he was the first minister of a church in San Francisco that was multiracial. Had Black people and white people. Eleanor Roosevelt was a member of that church. And he believed in the teaching, the religion not about Jesus, but the religion of Jesus. The religion that we teach in Unity of Jesus, about love and kindness and knowing that is within us, that we are that image of God. That we are that spiritual essence an individualized expression of it. The next person is Martha P. Johnson. Martha P. Johnson was a Black trans woman, and she was always in drag. She supported drag and queer individuals. She was part of the LGBTQ rights movement. She started a shelter called Star House for youth that were homeless, that were queer and trans like she was. There's a documentary about her on Netflix called The Life and Death of Martha P. Johnson. I haven't watched it yet, but I plan to. And people would ask her what the P stood for, and she said, P stands for, now I forgot. Pay it no mind. Pay it no mind. Like, none of your business what the P stands for. Pay it no mind. Anyway, I thought that was cute. And then finally, we have Mae Jemison. And Mae was the first Black woman in outer space. She orbited the planet, the Earth. She's also an engineer, a scientist, a physician. She encourages and works with, she has a foundation, and she works with Black youth to help them, especially girls, to get into technology and math and science and engineering, and doing great things. All of these people striving for excellence, knowing their worth, knowing that what is theirs to do. We can take so much inspiration from their lives. It's incredible how they lived a life with a lot of meaning in spite of the circumstances that they found themselves in. Many of them, during the civil rights movement, their backs against the wall. I watched a Netflix movie a couple of months ago called 6888. Anybody see it? It's fantastic. A true story about the first Black women's military corps. It was in World War II. And the leader of that troop, the troop number was 6888, is named Charity Adams, and she's played by Kerry Washington. It's a fantastic movie. She's tough, but she's got a heart. But she leads this battalion of women, mostly Black women, a few of Hispanic or Caribbean descent, but mostly women of color. And there's 855 of them. And they get an assignment to go to the UK during World War II to sort the mail. And at first she's like, pissed off, like, what? This is what they give us? We're gonna sort the mail. They get there and they discover that it's not just one warehouse full to the brim of bags of mail, parcels and letters and packages, but 6 warehouses full. They get to, their living conditions are horrible. The American Red Cross turned them down, would not put them up in a hotel because they don't want to mix them with the white people. And so they have this, I don't know if it's a school or something, but it's horrible. They have to clean it up first. They've been given 6 months to sort through all this mail and get it delivered. And Charity Adams knows this is her mission, because the troops have low morale. No mail equals low morale. They need mail. They need to hear from their loved ones. Their loved ones back home need to hear from them. People weren't getting any word. The mail was just getting stuck. And so they decide to do 3 eight-hour shifts. And in 3 months, not 6, a lot of the mail had food that had gone bad, was contaminated, so they were rat infested. lots of other vermin and mold, and you can imagine. So instead of 6 months, they sorted 17 million pieces of mail in 3 months. It was incredible. And this group of women had to fight misogyny, racial discrimination, terrible living conditions. And look what they accomplished, because Charity Adams was able to instill in them a sense of excellence, that they were not going to fail. They were going to do their mission. And so after they did all that mail, then they went to France and sorted 3 years worth of mail in 5 months. They came home from the war. There's no ceremony. There's no parade. There's no thanks. There's no honoring of them. Nothing. A lot like the black soldiers, male soldiers that fought in World War II. In 2022, President Biden, 80 years later, awarded them the Congressional Medal of Honor. Most of them are no longer living. But another incredible story about the things they have overcome to achieve excellence, to know they have value, and that their lives were significant, worth living, contributing to society in ways that a lot of us can't even imagine. It's just a beautiful way to live your life that we can take inspiration from. At the end of the movie, during the credits, there's a song that was played that Kevin and I, when we watched the movie, we just really oh my God, this song is amazing. And it was performed by a black female artist. Her name is Her, H.E.R. I hadn't heard of her. And it's called The Journey. And I told Laura about it, and so they're going to play it for you after the talk, The Journey. It's incredible. But this line is from the song. And when you're going with your heart, you can go further than you ever thought possible. When you're going with your heart is where your guidance comes to you. You know it in your heart, what you are meant to do, how you are meant to show up in this world, how you are supposed to be in this world to contribute to society in whatever way is yours. And to do it with excellence, no matter what your circumstances are. We all have a part to play. We're all part of the one. And we have this invitation constantly to look for the beauty and the love and the justice in the world. And so that's my invitation to you. Are you ready to do that? Do you have a blueprint for your life? Are you ready to create one? Live your life by design, not default. There's so much life out there to live. And we can live a life we love when we're willing to do that. Namaste. Peace be with you.